NCBA. Such a great apex organization, serving co-ops both here domestically and internationally. I didn't know, Doug or Tamala, if you wanted to do like a quick overview of just kind of how you would describe NCBA to the rest of the group, for those that might not be as familiar with the organization as a whole. Just want to give you that opportunity to kind of highlight it, and then we'll talk about board service.
Sure. Debbie, now I'll do it very quickly. Thank you, Debbie, and
Yeah.
Thanks again for doing this today. NCBA CLUSA is the umbrella organization for cooperatives in the United States. We've been around since 1916. We have within our membership essentially all of the different types of sectors of cooperatives, and our mission is to develop, advance, and protect cooperatives. Our vision is to help more people use cooperatives to build an inclusive economy. With that work, we do a lot of advocacy, communications through our membership here in the United States of America. We're also, for 80 years, we've been doing work across the country, helping people in developing regions use cooperatives to empower themselves in their economy and society. And I'll just stop there. So Debbie, back to you. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, so we wanted to take the opportunity to share that the nominations for running for the board of NCBA are opening soon. And so take this opportunity, since we have these co-op circles, to talk about what is board service for NCBA, and what some considerations there might be for that, and encourage people to think about stepping up and being in leadership roles on the board. So I've been on the board a couple of years now, and really find it as such a valuable experience overall. So the board itself oversees all the things that you would think about from a board role, everything from, the duty of care, the fact that we have legal standards to follow. We have responsibility to stay informed and ask questions about what's going on. I think this undivided allegiance for the organization's welfare is an important factor of being a board member, because all of us come with unique hats, oftentimes representing different sectors of the cooperative movement. And so remembering that while we're on the board and servicing, we need to look at it holistically from a broader perspective, and not try to push any one agenda, which is a really healthy balance for the board to consider. There's the governance of the organization is really well laid out, and we all participate in different parts of that. There's all kinds of unique committees and task forces. For instance, I'm working closely with Juan and some others on the nominating committee. And there's other opportunities. There's volunteer services that we'll talk a little bit about towards the end here. And really, I think probably one of the most important roles as a board member is to be that ambassador of co-ops wherever we go, and to highlight what NCBA does in supporting cooperatives. Juan, did you have anything you wanted to add to that I may have missed or highlight more?
No, the only thing I'd add as an intro, and once again, nice to see everyone, is just going back to the importance of NCBA CLUSA, and the reason that I think many of us choose to serve on the board is that there are many challenges right now in society. And I think whether it's affordable housing, whether it's financial wellness, you name it, I don't think any single cooperative sector alone could fix them. But it is through the collaboration, the cooperation between cooperative sectors that happens here at NCBA CLUSA that we can come up with innovative solutions to tackle those issues. And I think that's why it's important to be a member. That's why it's important to be part of committees. That's why it's important to consider running for the board. and stay engaged and be part of the solution and the conversations that are taking place as we try to come up with ways to tackle these issues and help our cooperatives remain relevant and help them grow into the future.
Yeah, I love that one. I have always believed since I first got involved with credit unions and then understood the broader cooperative network that the cooperative model is a excellent solution for a lot of the issues that we face, that many of which you highlighted, Juan. And being on the board and or just being involved with NCBA in any way that you feel works for you as members and engaging in different conferences and whatnot really brings that to life in a real way. How there's so much opportunity for us as cooperators to really influence solutions as well as do the work behind the scenes. So that's great. You can move to the next slide. Yeah, so the key roles of the board, just so you have a sense of what it means to kind of serve on the board of NCBA, is you do set the organizational direction, working very closely with Doug and his amazing team. Doug has put together a really stellar staff at NCBA, many of which are on this call. Just it's a really great collaborative effort to kind of look at the direction of where NCBA is going and what they can do, and that's everything from setting the vision, the mission, major goals, even as far as overseeing the role of the CEO of the organization, and reviewing financials and taking a look at where some maybe difficult decisions need to be made as an organization, and helping kind of give some oversight with that. And then also about evaluating ourselves as board members and our effectiveness, and finding we have a very strong commitment. NCBA has a very strong commitment to ensuring that we are recruiting and looking for potential leaders on the board who represent all of the different sectors. We want those voices at the table, as well as just diversity overall, and ensuring that people from all economic backgrounds, life experiences, cultures, and like I said, the different sectors, because every different sector of the co-op world brings a unique perspective to the discussions that we have. It's a really probably one of the most rich discussions that I get to be involved in, because of the nature and the depth and the breadth of what co-ops do and the different roles that they play, and the incredible people that bring their passions and their knowledge and their unique ideas to the table. So I highly encourage you to consider it. And I'll pause there, Juan, in case there's anything else you wanted to add where that's concerned. All right. So any questions so far? I don't want to just talk at you. If people have anything they want to, I wasn't seeing anything in the chat. We'll just pause for a second in case anybody has any.
I have a question. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so as far as the nomination, and y'all mentioned a nomination committee, are you going to be nominating people from those that you know, maybe people that are here, or is there a way to self-nominate, and how does that work?
Excellent question, Maria. And rolls us right into the next part, which is so yeah, we do some recruiting and asking people to consider, but there's an open nomination process. It is going to be launching on February 16th. There are packets.
It launches Tuesday, January 16th.
What did I say?
It launches February 16th. That's when it's due.
When it's due, sorry. It launches, thank you, Tamala, keeping me honest. Launches this Tuesday. It's due on February 16th. Very important distinction. And there's a packet where they're asked for you to fill out different information, provide a little bit of your background, So that, and then that goes through the nominating committee, and then it's, the candidates are posted. There's a process that each person who decides to run has the opportunity to kind of, if you will, market yourself in the co-op community, because all NCBA members have the ability to vote if they're not an associate member, then they, and so just introducing yourself to different members is another way to get your name and your information out there. So it is an open process. We will at times tap people on the shoulder and say, hey, would you consider running? But the actual selection of the board members is done by the membership. It is a very competitive process, I will say, in that you know, I think there are 5 seats coming up this round. We have, I think, 4 incumbents that are considering rerunning. And it's not a bad idea to, if you have a desire to be on the board, to put your name out there, and it may take a couple rounds for you to get on the board, but that also helps you get your, you know, get known within the voting community, and also has the ability for you to kind of see who others are out there that are running and get some insight from that perspective. And I don't know if you want to back up a slide. Okay, personal benefits and whatnot. Before I talk about this, Maria, does that answer your question?
Yes, I need to make sure. I thought there was an annual fee to be on the a member, like a member of the.
Gotcha. Yes, you do have to be a member of NCBA to run for the board. So Tamala, do you want to just give a quick rundown of like membership?
Yes. So to serve on the board of directors, you do need to be a member of NCBA CLUSA. So that can be whether you are with a co-op and your co-op is a member. If you are a vendor or supporter of co-ops and your organization is an associate member, or for one of many reasons, it may work best for you to start as an individual member. That option is available to you also. I will reach out to you, and also for everyone, I will put my name and email address on there to help you confirm your membership status. And if you are interested in self-nominating, making sure that we have you on board as a member, so that you're welcome to apply.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions? So I think one of the other things we just wanted to highlight was that it's not only an opportunity to serve on a really dynamic board with really quality individuals, that really I just found very enriching, just getting to know each of them individually and collectively. But there are personal benefits as well. The amazing learning experience, you get a broad sense of the different things that are going on, both domestically and internationally. Several of us are headed to Puerto Rico in a couple of weeks to do a couple of meetings with local leaders in that area, check out some projects that are going on and really see hands-on what's happening. So those kind of experiences are pretty rich and exciting. And be a part of the kind of, it says be a part of the change that you want to see, but that's kind of what it feels like when you're on the board. And then professionally, I mean, it's an incredible way to expand your network, to build and enhance any skills you have. If you are trying to grow your personal brand, it certainly gets your exposure out there, and also you get more connected with lots of people all over. So like I said, I can't promote being involved enough. If you have a passion for the cooperative movement and you want to be a part of advancing it and helping NCBA continue to do the amazing work that they're doing, it's a great opportunity to consider.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Debbie. We do have 2 questions. Well, we have a question and a hand raised. Maria posted, or Isa, excuse me, posted in the chat. do board members typically go to the annual conference as well as other opportunities like PR?
Yes, I would say that all board members are encouraged to go to the Impact Conference. It sometimes doesn't work out for everybody, but that is something that we all try to do, and we usually have a board meeting that's closely associated with that. And then these, I don't know, Doug, if you wanted to talk a little bit about the international trips. I think there's opportunities for people to engage, but yes, we've started these recently, or at least as opportunities, and certainly it's something that NCBA is committed to helping expose more and more board members to actual projects on the ground. So I don't know if you had some things you wanted to say about that, Doug.
Sure, Debbie, thank you. Just very briefly. So as Debbie just did a great job of explaining, in terms of travel, there's domestic travel for board meetings, typically 2 or 3 times a year, a couple times to Washington, D.C., and then to someplace else. In the last few years, we've been to Denver, and Washington. Debbie hosted last June actually at BECU. It was a fantastic trip in Seattle. And this year for our domestic trip, we're going to Puerto Rico. It can feel like you're going outside of the United States, which of course you're not, sort of. Last year we did go to the Dominican Republic. There were about 5 or 7 board members that went on that trip. We have projects across the world in Sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. And once a year, we try to organize one that's really meant for directors to attend if they can. I'll just be really transparent on costs. So for the domestic and the board meetings, the elected board members are reimbursed, can be reimbursed for their travel. And so it essentially doesn't cost you anything except for your time. Your employer needs to be good with you being gone at that time. For the international trips, it kind of varies. It depends on the particular types of projects that are going on, what our budget situation, et cetera. But it can be that the board director will need to carry some or quite a few of the costs for the international travel. So that's just a couple notes on that.
And Steve, I saw you had your hand up.
Thanks. What are the resource commitments to being a board member in terms of time and money?
Yeah, I don't know the exact number of board meetings that we have. I'm blanking on that. I probably should have that written down, but I think we have at least a couple in person, like Doug was mentioning. We try to go somewhere that within the group's footprint, so that when he mentioned Denver and then Seattle, because usually someone on the board kind of helps host that meeting. We meet in DC for right before the Co-op Impact Conference, and we do have at least a couple of virtuals as well for the annual meeting and end of the year kind of budget type meetings. Did I cover that?
You got it just right, Debbie.
Okay.
In terms of financial, the travel boarding is reimbursed. So it's meant to be kind of a net neutral on your financial. As Tamla mentioned before, you or your cooperative or association doesn't need to be a member of NCBA CLUSA. And so then it's time. So it's busy people giving their time, to the mission of this association and the governance. And there is no stipend. It's a volunteer board that way.
And there are other ways to engage if you're trying to just kind of get your, a connection with NCBA growing. So if we want, we can go on to the other ways that people can get involved with NCBA to kind of build up to that place, if that's where you find yourself. So Tamala, did you want to kind of just do a quick highlight? I will say that I'm a part of the Principal 6 Ambassador Council. Mike Mercer and others are part of that, and it's really been a wonderful experience, just kind of collaborating with other co-op leaders all over, and just looking for different ways that we can partner together as co-ops and promoting that idea, bringing people together. So that's one way of engaging.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Debbie and Juan, for sharing this opportunity, particularly from your perspective as our active board members. And thank you all for your questions for this, which is why we wanted to have this Co-op Circle Happy Hour focus on this topic. And for those who definitely are interested in serving and interested in leading and would like to have some onboarding into leadership prior to applying or getting nominated toward the NCBA CLUSA board, we have these volunteer councils. So the co-op to co-op council, these 5 are the most active for right now, though there are a few more that may be coming on. The co-op to co-op council focuses on our volunteer assignments that happen through our programming at NCBA CLUSA. So right now, Farmer to Farmer is the most active one in this piece. And this is a great opportunity if you're looking to really expand your network of cooperators in different sectors. And it's reaching out because we found that when a co-op shares a volunteer opportunity with another cooperator, they're more likely to apply for that. So that is what the co-op to co-op council does. It's just networking about farmer to farmer for right now on volunteer opportunities. The Co-op Development Programs Council is in its development stage and just had a really great focus group late last year. And with the Platform Startups and Small Co-ops Council. And we're looking for what are the ways that as NCBA CLUSA, as Juan said, all sectors working together, can we support these areas that are critical to the co-op ecosystem? And like, how can we, as NCBA CLUSA, provide even more support around areas that seem either exhausted by the bandwidth of what they need to do, or for those that don't have as large a platform, which is funny with the platform co-op, large the platform to have engagement. The Principal 6 Ambassadors Council is embodying the Principal 6 cooperators supporting other cooperators, and like what are active ways for us to do that. And in 2024, there will be regional roundtables that they are developing, so more on that to come. And then Purchasing Co-op Council, the co-op purchasing sector is the only one that doesn't have its own sector-specific association. And so we are providing that support for that sector through NCBA CLUSA. So those are the opportunities there. One of my colleagues will have a link about those different councils and how you can sign up if you are interested to volunteer either as a volunteer on the council, and a few of them we are still recruiting co-chair opportunities. So if you're interested in serving as a co-chair, that is available as well. And you can do that through that link. So that is an intro into our volunteer council, and bringing it back to you, Debbie.
Well, I know we're right at time. I just didn't know if anyone had any last burning questions. I will highlight again that we are looking for, someone to represent the purchasing co-op sector on the board. So give that some thought. If you know people that you think you might want to nudge to consider running for the board, or share more information with them about some of this, please feel free to do so. This and this recording too. So, well, I personally thank you for your time, for being here. And Maisha, I don't know if you wanted to close it out or